Is this the one and only Mr. Curtis Don Vito?
Yeah, that would be me. Is this the one and only Bay Ragni?
This is me. This is me. How you doing?
All right.
Finally getting it together.
Oh, I'm doing good. Yeah.
You're like rock and rolling around the globe, I see, man.
We're getting around a little bit here and there, you know, doing what we can.
That's awesome, dude. So was that you just got back from the UK? Was that your first time over there? Or?
Yeah, that was our first time in the UK. I don't know what took us so long, but we're glad we finally made it.
That's awesome. That is freaking awesome. Now, I mean, from what I saw too, like I was checking out, I've seen. Well, first of all, I got to congratulate you and the whole band, whoever does it. Like your whole YouTube channel, like you guys utilize it so much, and I freaking love it because when people don't utilize the tools in front of them, it drives me insane. And the fact that you do it, I love it. But as I was going through and I was watching some of the videos from this past little tour you guys did, it seemed like the crowds were pretty loud and nice sized crowds and all. That was really cool.
Oh yeah, well I mean yeah, those were from the Hard Rock Hell Festival, so yeah, that was a sold out event. There were tons of people there.
Nice, that's cool. Now, how'd that all end up getting hooked up?
How did we get on that? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were asked. One of the people involved in the festival contacted our rhythm guitar player Lenny, who had some friends, and you know, through whatever connections they got a hold of him, and we were all just like, yeah, let's go. I mean, it's all the way in Wales, but sure, why not? Let's go.
Right. That's freaking awesome. That's
yeah,
so cool.
So that was a blast. You know, that was the 12th one. I guess this happens every year, and we didn't even know about it until we were asked. And it's just a major event over there. There were all these classic like the new wave of British heavy metal bands that were there. And we're just like, oh my God, these guys are back together, and or they're still going, and it's just like, wow, Girl School played, and Witchfind, and Tigers of Pantang, all those bands. It was like, oh man, this is like heavy metal heaven.
Oh, that's awesome. That's freaking awesome. So I mean, it's got something like that's gonna make you think like, how the hell did we get here? Like, how'd they hear about us? Like, how did this happen?
Oh, you totally, because I mean, these are guys that we grew up listening to and cutting our chops on. Is like now we're amongst them. It was it was mind blowing. That's
really awesome. That is so awesome. And it kind of like that kind of leads me to like the same question too. Like I saw you guys like you guys have had music featured on like NHL games and Major League Baseball games. Like when something like that happens, I would be like freaked out. Like, holy crap! Like that's huge.
It is, I mean, the way these things come together, especially for us, we're a totally independent band, you know. So there's no label, there's nobody helping us out. It's just like we're on our own. So when things come together, it's it makes us feel like we're doing something right.
Yeah. Right on. And that was, I think where did I see that too? I mean, it was something you guys, like the whole being independent, something you guys are like really, I mean, happy and proud of too, because you get to like really kind of call your shots and choose your direction and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's in today's world, with all the industries, particularly the entertainment industry being in this weird place. It's like we don't want to belong to that. We don't want those strings attached.
Right.
I mean, with the internet and so many independent outlets being available right now, it was a no-brainer for us. It's like, okay, maybe someday if the right group of people come along and they're not all a part of that whole system, and they're just music fans like us who want to just bring real music to the real world, and maybe we'll find some people that can help us launch it to another level. But
Right.
we don't want to be a part of the corporate machine.
No, I'm with you. Screw that machine. Do your own machine.
Yeah, exactly.
You drive the bus and make them wheels go around yourself. Don't do it for somebody else. I'm totally with you.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's what you do, right?
Right on. Right on.
Right?
Exactly. Yes.
It's people like us that make the world go round. It's not them.
Now the reason too, like if you ask my wife, she might just say because I'm a total control freak. But I like to say I'd rather be independent.
Well, it's a little of both, right?
Right.
If we're honest, it's a little of both.
It's a little of both. So, all right, so I got to ask, like, the name of Snew. Like, when I kept trying to, like, as it kept getting presented to me, I'm like, well, I'm thinking to myself, like, how do I say the name? Like, is it Snew, Snow? Like, what's going on here?
Snew, yeah, past tense of snow.
It's Snew.
So everybody asks that question. It's like I don't have much of an answer for you. It would say, I mean, if you want do you want the story?
Of course.
Of course,
yeah,
of course. I didn't come up with it. Nobody in the band came up with it. It was just like sort of divine intervention. I swear to you. The very first day, Andy, our lead guitar player, and I met, and we got together and we met through a friend, and we immediately just connected, and we started writing songs the very first night, and we knew that something was clicking here. And so at the end of the night, he burned a CD with some guitar riffs and song ideas on it for me. And then he took out the CD and he got a Sharpie and he wrote a big S. And then he just sort of paused for a few seconds. And then he moved over and he just wrote the word new. And I went, well, what was the S for? He said, well, I was going to write songs, but I changed my mind. I just put new. So I take that disc home and I'm looking at S, new, Snew. And when I saw him again, I go, dude, I think this is the name of our band. And he's all, okay.
Alrighty. It really it was like totally out of nowhere. Basically, a word you guys made up.
Yeah, it was just totally out of nowhere, and it's a 4-letter word, which I loved, and it's unique. I mean, finding a band name these days is next to impossible because everything's taken. I was like, beautiful. We got a band name. We don't even have to think about it anymore. It was awesome, totally painless.
Yeah, because that could be like the hardest task of all is coming up with a name.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you think you've got the perfect band name, you look it up and you find, shit, somebody's got it. I mean, you can spend just weeks, months coming up with names, finding out they're all taken. And this one was like, well, nobody's got this. We're going with it.
Yeah, like then I had to look and see. I'm like, well, maybe somebody in the band is like their last name is Snew.
It's a trip because like shortly after our first album came out, I got a friend request from a guy on Facebook whose last name is Snew. It was like, no way, somebody's actually got that last name.
Did you get scared?
That blew my mind.
Did you get scared and think, this guy's probably going to try like a lawsuit or something now?
No, he loved it.
That's awesome.
Then I heard from his sister, and then I heard from his mother. It's just like, oh my God, we're friends with this new family.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how about your Curtis non Vito? Like I hear that and I think to myself, well, maybe he was a fan of the show Jackass.
No, that is my actual family name.
Oh wow.
He's the one who's making things up, and I guess they just called him that, right? Because his first name is Vito. No, that's my actual family name. And then when that dude came around, I was like, no way, that's not even his name.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
So you're Italian,
my,
I guess.
My grandfather came over here from Italy with that name, and
Nice.
his father before him. It's not made up. I've been accused of that, but trust me, it's
That's awesome.
legitimate.
So as a
Real
fellow
Italian, baby.
I gotta ask you: is it gravy or sauce?
Huh?
Is it gravy or
gravy or sauce? Yeah, you know what? I grew up with gravy.
My man,
Yeah.
Curtis on Vito, you come to Philly, man. We're gonna have some gravy.
Exactly. That's I mean, because my grandfather and my father and all them came from the East Coast. They all came from the Philly area, and it was always gravy.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's kind of a trip though, isn't it? Because I mean, it's spaghetti sauce, but we call it gravy.
Gravy, yeah, oh, yeah.
There's a little bit of a weird disconnect there because you think gravy is what you put on potatoes. No, it's not.
It's funny because the first time when I first moved in with my wife, like the first meal she was going to cook for me, she says to me, "What would you like?" I'm like, "Oh, like macaroni with some gravy." She thought I meant macaroni and cheese with brown gravy. She had no idea.
Yeah, it's a trip. The Italians, the way that we integrated with American society. Was just like some of our ancestors from the turn of last century sort of adopted Americanisms in their own unique way, right?
Oh, that's awesome. I was totally expecting you to say sauce. So you're out there in L.A. I'm like, he's going to say sauce.
No. I'm authentic.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
What part of Philly was the family from?
They're actually from Germantown.
Okay. No kidding.
Yeah.
That's
so,
awesome.
which I'm ashamed to say I've never been there. All our relatives would just come over a couple times a year, and I never got a chance to go there. I'm dying to.
That's awesome. Well, you come to Philly, bring Snew to Philly, and you come to my house. We're gonna have some gravy for dinner.
There you go. Is that where you're based?
Yeah, man.
Right on.
My whole family's from South Philly.
Yeah, it's that's why you and I are connecting so well. I grew up with it, even though I never went there. I grew up with that whole, Philly vibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just either speaking Italian or speaking with that accent.
It's funny. So now, you guys actually released a few years back a cover of the Deep Purple classic Highway Star, but you had a little guest on that legendary guitar player, Alan Holdsworth.
Oh, yeah.
How'd that?
Yeah, Alan and I had been friends for years, and we'd always talked about doing something together, but it was always like, well, what am I going to do with Alan Holdsworth? It's like, how is this, going to happen? I mean, how is what I do and what he does going to mesh? And, but he was always so busy. The guy was constantly on tour. And he was home. He said, I'm going to be home for like the next 3 months. Let's do something. So I said, all right, we're going to make it happen. And Snew was in full swing at that point. We released our first album a year before. And it was like, all right, I'm going to figure out a way to make this happen. But what are we going to do? Having Alan play on a Snew song just didn't feel right. So I thought, well, I said, we'll do a cover. It's got to be like from an English band. And I thought, okay, Deep Purple, right? And, okay, what Purple song? Highway Star has been covered a million times by tons of bands, right? But I thought, if there's anybody in the world who could show up Richie Blackmore. It's Alan Holdsworth. So let's do the cover that everybody's done, but let Alan get out there and just show the world what new could be done with this tune. And man, what he did was just intensely mind blowing.
That's awesome. I love your thinking.
Right? I mean, who would approach that song like that other than Alan Holdsworth? He's just like an alien from another planet, that guy.
Now, what was his feelings when you brought that to his to his radar?
Alan, he's a sweet guy, and I said, so what do you think about doing a Dear Purple song? He says, oh sure, anything you want. I said, well, how about Highway Star? He said, well, send it to me. I've never heard it before. He didn't even know the song. He knew who Deep Purple was, but that was about it. And so then I sent it to him, and he listened to it for a while, and he's like, do you mind if I do the guitar solos my own way? Because I don't want to copy what that other guy was doing. That's exactly what he put it, what that other guy was doing.
That other guy.
I said, Alan, I was hoping you'd say that. Just do whatever you want, man.
Now the world will always refer to Richie Blackmore as that other guy.
That other guy, I know. That was so funny. He didn't even know the guy's name. We all know Richie Blackmore, but to him it was just like, yeah, that other guitar player.
That other guy. That's so friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
Now, something really, as I dug deep and found out some dirt about you, something I really thought was really kind of interesting about you was you actually grew up being an artist, and you being a musician or a singer was never on your radar.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. As a kid, I was always an artist, and I thought that's all what I was doing. My parents are musicians, so I grew up around music, but they did jazz and Tony Bennett kind of stuff and Frank Sinatra and all that kind of thing. And I thought it was it was good, but didn't really turn me on, and so I just focused on drawing and all that kind of thing, which comes in handy now for making up all the album covers and the website and all that stuff. So that's where I cut my chops, being an artist.
I was wondering if that was you responsible for all that.
Yeah, I don't take any credit for it. Like I don't, on the liner notes of the albums, I don't put my name on there because it's too much. It's like just let it be a mystery. But I guess I'm revealing it to you since you did the research.
But what happened? What was it? You a friend of yours asked you to try out for their band just out of the blue, and then another friend of yours placed an ad for you. I think they're looking for a band.
Oh, okay. Well, no, actually, yeah. This friend of mine, his brother had a band, and he was kind of managing his brother's band, and he was telling me that they were looking for a new lead singer, and we were all just hanging out one night, and I said, let me try out. I don't even know where the hell that came from. Just in the spur of the moment, we were all sitting around partying, and I'm just like, let me try out for him. So he lines it up, and I go in, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I did nothing more but than sing along with the radio, But I'm in there doing it just to do something different. I was just like, this is gonna be a trip. I'm gonna try this. And I didn't get the gig, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I think I was 18 years old. But he put an ad in the paper for me, and I started getting calls from all these bands. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I talked to him. He says, yeah, I put in an ad for you. Because, even though you don't know what you're doing, you've got something, and I think you should keep going with it. So that's how it happened.
Now, did you end up actually joining any of the bands that called, or?
Well, eventually, yeah. I spent an entire summer just auditioning for bands, and finally somebody wanted me to take the gig, and I was like, okay. And at that point, all I wanted to do was just play cover songs, just like it would be great to just be in a band and sing all my favorite songs. But these guys were writing their own stuff. And I was like, whoa, these guys are writing their own music. And then suddenly, like, that creative thing in me that I had always drawn and did all that artwork, something clicked. It was like, I can make music. Oh, my God, this is going to be amazing. Yep, I'm in, come in. And so we started writing songs, and it infected me like a virus. I was like, the hell with artwork. This is what I'm doing with my life. I'm going to make music. Changed me, and I owe it to that friend of mine who I lost contact with like 20 years ago. But I owe it to him, because if it wasn't for him placing that ad, I might have never done this.
That is so wild. That is such a wild story.
Yeah. So you never know what life's going to throw at you, man. Be prepared for anything.
So something else I saw, you guys actually had a legendary LA guy on bass for Willie Bass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, God, we just lost him. Just everybody around here is heartbroken. But, yeah, Willie's another guy who I was friends with for years, like my very first LA band. I grew up in Orange County, and when I finally made the move to LA, we rehearsed at Willie's place.
Okay.
And he and I became friends like almost immediately, because he wanted me to do artwork for him, because I was still doing artwork, and I was doing like the flyers for my band. He said, well, can you make me a logo? And then we just became friends after that. I like did all his artwork for years. And yeah, and then Willie had always done his own thing with his own band, and been his own front man and bass player and all that. But we were about to go in and record our third album, but we lost our original bass player, and I was racking my brain, who can we get to play bass, And so I called Willie, just, do you think you can come in and maybe lay a couple of tracks for us? Turns out he was so into it, he wanted to join the band. And I was just blown away by that Willie Bass, of all people, would just become the bass player in my band and not the front man. It still just, it tripped me out. But we had so much fun. We did an entire tour together. Recording the album was amazing. We were with Ken Scott on that one. And, Ken was a legendary producer. And then we did a tour, and we played Rocklahoma, and it was a blast. I mean, I got so many fond memories of Willie.
Yeah, that was one. It was just recently too. What was it, like a month ago or something? Recently.
Yeah, it just happened. Yeah, he'd been struggling with cancer for quite a few years. We thought he was going to beat it, because he hung in there longer than anybody expected him to. I thought, if anybody's going to beat this, it's Willie. But yeah, finally took him out. So.
Yeah. Such a shame. Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, doesn't it suck when that happens, Losing people that you love and you think are going to be here forever. But we all got other places to go eventually, right?
So that's what they keep telling us.
Yeah. But
you got the new album out, though. Came out back in September. You've got some nerve. Fourth album.
Fourth one.
Holy cow.
We're doing it. Doing it to you again. We're snowing all over you.
Now, the first, the first single and video, You're Freaking Me Out. Was there anybody that freaking you out that inspired that song, or? That song
in a lot of ways is inspired by everything that's happening in the world these days. Everybody's freaking out about something, right? No matter which side of the political fence you're on, or which side of the corporate fence you're on, everybody's, freaking out. with each other, against them. It's just like, my idea was just, you know what? Let them be freaked out. Say what you got to say. Be who you are. And if somebody's got a problem with that, if somebody's freaked out by that, good.
That's it.
Let
them
it
freak
be.
out.
Let it be. Because, being yourself is more important than anything else. So that's kind of what I'm trying to say with that song.
Now, there's another song on the album, and I'm wondering, was it possibly you're trying to get like a sponsor deal or something like that? Sharpie. I don't think anybody's ever written a song about Sharpie.
Trying to get a sponsor deal. Yeah, because, Sharpie is well known for sponsoring bands, right?
Absolutely. I mean, they should be.
But every band in the world uses a Sharpie. I mean, if people want autographs, you get out your Sharpie and you sign away,
Right.
And, yeah, so, I mean, that's really all that was, about. That and saying something, with a Sharpie, if you're going to make a protest sign, if you're going to write on a bathroom wall, it's indelible ink. It's going to be there forever. So if you're going to say it with a Sharpie, because it can't be erased.
See,
just make sure you're saying what you want to say, because it's not going to get erased.
You even came up with a motto for them. Look at that. If you're going to say it with a Sharpie.
Oh, God, I'm coming up with corporate slogans now.
I'm telling you. See this? This gets turned into something. Trying to get some checks here for you.
Look at you. You're trying to get me to sell out.
Hey, you know what? In this day and age, it might be easier to money from Sharpie than Spotify.
I don't know. I guess I could get behind Sharpie. I mean, I've used enough of them in my lifetime.
Right. Exactly.
Right. I wouldn't have to fake it. Yeah, I use Sharpie. So
there you go.
Why not?
That's so funny. That is awesome. So are you guys going to be, I mean, again, going back to the YouTube thing, you guys use so much of YouTube, you're going to be making any more videos for the album, or?
Well, of course. I can't help it. I mean, I'm the one who makes all the videos, and I was just working on a new idea before I called you. I can't help it, I've got that creative thing in me, Besides making music, I have to make art. So between the two, I'm constantly busy, and my mind just won't shut off. So yeah, we've got a lot of videos, and there's going to be a lot more.
I tell you what, I'm impressed with you do a lot of you do them as you're driving. You do like these top 10 lists as you're driving, and I'm
yeah.
I couldn't concentrate. I'd I do videos in my car too, but I'm like parked.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it while I'm driving because I wouldn't be able to do two things at once. I'm not a good multitasker, shall we say?
Yeah, somebody wanted me to do like a top 10 album list, and I was thinking, okay, where am I going to do this? And I got to thinking that, what I want to do is I want to play some of the albums, while I talk about them. And I thought, well, I'll do it in the car, right? I mean, I'm really comfortable there because I listen, to music in my car all the time, and I drive around and I sing. That's where I get most of my, practice time in, is I just get in my car and I crank it up and, I sing. So it was a natural for me. So, yeah, I tried it, and I was like, yeah, I guess this works. So I put it out, and then I made a few more.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was like, damn, he's like driving around, he's in his car, and he's just rattling away.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do. So, I'm just keep it to pretty much my neighborhood, so I don't know if I trust myself to get out of the freeway and do that, but as long as I'm keeping it local. I haven't run over anybody yet, but you never know.
So you're actually like in a cul-de-sac, just going in a circle.
Kind of. I mean, if you watch that, you'll see a lot of the same scenery go by.
Oh, that's funny. So, so what are you guys planning now for the rest of the year? I mean, are you guys going to be doing any more shows this for the rest of the year, or just promoting the album? Or
No, it's it's the end of the year, so coming back from England, we're just going to take the rest of the year off. But yeah, we got to start making plans for next year.
nice. I think Philly and some macaroni and gravy is in the future.
There you go. I'm up for that.
There you go.
Yeah, we bring us out there, dude. Just for the macaroni and gravy. Maybe I'll bring the band.
That could be a new video. Sunday Snew. Sunday Gravy with Snew.
Hey, there you go. That's right.
See that?
Yeah, every Sunday at my grandmother's house. Macaroni and gravy.
That's
every Sunday growing up.
That's awesome. Well, Curtis, man, this was great freaking talking to you. So happy we finally got it together.
I know. God, why didn't we hook up years ago? See, you just never know who's out there that you connect with, and it's just like I feel like we've known each other for ages. We got so much in common. This is great.
Awesome. Yeah, man. So, all right. So, where should we send everybody to find out more about Snew and get the music, the albums, merch, anything else?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can go to our website, snewyou.com. SNEWYOU, SNEWYOU. .com, and or you can find us all over the place. If you want a CD, you can go to CD Baby, or you can go to Amazon, or any of those places, or iTunes, and blah blah blah.
There you go. Just go to Snew You first and get everything there, because I tore through your website today. I mean, there's every available option there, and it tells you everything about the band. There's videos, music, links, social media. It's got every freaking tidbit of information you need.
That's what it was designed to do. So if I'm not going to put it on my website, I may as well just give up.
You'd be surprised how many people don't do that. You'd just be surprised.
Really?
Oh my God. I just sit there and scratch my head.
Musicians are weird and wonderful people, but they know how to make music, and that's about it. Every once in a while, there's somebody who comes along and knows how to do a couple extra things, but most of them just know how to make music, and I mean, God bless them, that's what they're here to do. So let's not hold it against them.
Oh, it's too funny. Well, Curtis, man, you know what? This has been awesome. It's been great talking to you.
Sure has. Yeah.
And I'll keep you updated. I'm going to air this sometime next week, and I'll let you know when.
Awesome. All right, Bay.
All right, man.
Let's talk again sometime soon.
Absolutely. Hey, we're Facebook friends now, so.
Yeah.
I'm always on there. I'm not hard to find.
All right. So we'll talk some more later, and
absolutely.
Everybody out there listening, you too, come find me on Facebook or anywhere else, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you anytime you want.
There you go. The one and only Curtis Don Vito. And I do mean the one and only. Take care, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Okay, you too.
Bye.